Hey salty peeps. Okay, so today's actually Monday, October 2nd, and I decided, you know what, I have not filmed a planty video in quite a long time, and I'm going through a little bit of like planty chores tonight. I just got home and I had this plant in the sink and I'm like, girl, deal with it right now, but pick up the camera as well and do a week's in plant chores essentially. So the basis of this video is going to be me doing planty chores. Essentially every day I'm doing something with my plants, okay? Whether it's watering, moving something around, wiping something down, you know, fertilizing, inspecting. I am doing something or another. So like I mentioned, I came home and I'm going through this bamboo plant and I decided to like split it apart. So this is essentially where we're at right now. So this is the sink and I've had to pull the bamboo apart because they were just so rooted together. So now I'm just trying to essentially like now remove any dead excess roots and give this a good cleanse and put the rocks back in here, right, like these rocks, and also put the bamboo back in here. So I'm gonna give the bamboo water a good little rinse over. This thing is murky, so murky. Don't let your plants get to the point where, you know, the water starts to smell like muddy. I don't know the English word, but in like swampy, I think that's it. So in Creole we have a word called like labu, which is a mix of like dirt, debris, muck, guck that, you know, happens after rain. So it's like that muddy, murky, gunky water. It is what labu is. So we don't want your plants to smell like labu. Or if you've ever walked by, you know, an area that has like bacteria water and you can smell like how dirty and contaminated the water is, again, don't let your plants get that mucky smell. So yeah, I'm gonna try to see how I can set this camera up for y'all to see me do a little some. Okay, I don't know if this is good enough, but be here. So something like this, if I just pull, you see all this, gotta go. I'm using a mix of like lukewarm water and I'm also at the same time just pulling at all this older, not very, you know, what we want. Another thing that I notice with plants, and especially plants that are grown in water, once the plant's roots have essentially outgrown the container space, I do notice that my plants do decline in growth. So once the roots are just too large for the container, it's starting to feel confined. And I've noticed this with multiple water propagations or plants that just live in water. I do notice that the moments when, again, the roots of the plant is starting to just like outgrow the container, I do see some yellowing on like the leaves, decline in growth, and like plant happiness. So that's another thing, you know, to be mindful for. You're like, why is my plant, you know, not thriving? Why is it not flourishing? I give it great care. Maybe you might just need to upgrade the container that it's in as well. So I say that to say, you know, check your plants out, give it some TLC, and, you know, see what needs to be done to it. So again, I'm just picking at any of like the dead roots that are just like stuck onto this. I'm gonna also take this little cup and just put some rocks in here. Some rocks to like lay on top of the roots when I place them back inside of here. One last good rinse. And the time right now is 9:53 p.m. So again, plant chores come at any time of the day. So tomorrow I'm gonna, you know, take you all along with me, and for the rest of the week, you know, every time I have to like do something plant related, I'm gonna try my best to remember to pick the camera up and keep y'all posted. But I do want, at least for the month of October, I do want to at least post at least 1 to 2 videos a week, and that, you know, may or may not also include the live streams that I do on Friday nights. This is about like a decade's worth of gunk I'm removing from these plants, by the way. I've had this bamboo for a really, really long time. It was much larger at one point. I had to restart the plant because I went through a really bad bout of, what's that thing? Thrips. So the thrips got to the bamboo. So and then again, this is years and years worth of neglect, not even neglect, of just the plant needing an upgrade. Something like this, it's looking a little mushy. I'm just gonna grab a pair of, like, just a knife and just cut right before the rot. Okay. Just stick it back in here. We're on like the last couple of bamboos. This was so much needed for this plant. Alright, so this is actually a lot of roots, dead roots. This is like the piece that I cut off. So all of this, including the sponge, is all trash. And I will see you all tomorrow because I already know I have a couple things to handle tomorrow. Plant wise, so yeah, salty peeps, this is how beautiful and clean this container is. So I'm going to just transfer it to where it needs to be. But again, I'm gonna call it a night, get ready for bed because I have work early in the morning. But see y'all for tomorrow's planty chores. Hey salty pecans, so it is the next day. It is currently, what time it is now? 10:09. I've already started to do some house planty chores, but then I'm like, Pamela, you told your salty peeps that you were going to try to document what you did throughout the week. So currently, if you can see behind me, I'm doing like a partial watering. So I am just dunking a lot of plants inside of this container, this bucket of water, and then I'm letting them like drip in this glass. So that glass container, I actually use it during the winter months on my radiator as a makeshift humidifier for the plants that live above my radiator. So that's currently what I'm doing right now. Let me see. So I also want to clean up some plants. I did go and water some of these that are up here, and my super is supposed to be coming in today to look at some things. For example, this windowsill right here. I live in an older building, so things are not as up to date as they should be. Also, I'm just working on some of the plants here in the kitchen as well. I gave this huge ZZ a good soaking yesterday, so it enjoyed that. Now I am going to actually just letting this drain a little bit. But yeah, so let me get to the rest of these planty chores. Giving everybody some water, because the seasons, yes, are changing, but we don't want to shock our plants and give them less care than they believe it or not really need from us right now. If y'all remember this Hoya australis that I had to restart, I think like twice, it is finally surviving. Definitely what my inference was, it did have mites, some sort of root mites, and I did have to give it a pesticide treatment, and finally, the foliage is not dying. So happy about that. So my break is almost over. I will try and check back with you all. Oh, that sneeze. No, it's spicy. I'll check back in with you all around noonish during lunchtime. But that's just what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to like steep some more plants, and we shall see. Oh no! Ooh. So this all the time. Into the bucket. Alright, into the bucket. I'm gonna have to wipe that down. Honestly, having houseplants is such a messy hobby. It's a dirty, messy hobby. It is not for the faint of heart. Okay. Hey, salty peeps. So, it's actually not even noon yet, but I have this idea that I want to actually do today. So I have a bunch of plants, and a lot of them, obviously I know the name, but there are just some random moments when I'm thinking of a name like on the spot and I can't think of the plant's name, and I'm like, you know what, let me actually do twice the work, write down a list of all the plants that I have in my entire home. And then my lovely salty pea pan Felix, for my birthday, he actually sent me, like this pack of copper like name things for, yeah, like plant labels. So I'm gonna write down all of the names on my paper, and then I'm gonna like permanent marker transfer the names onto this copper plant label, and then go ahead and put the stakes on all the plants so they're all cohesive. There's a lot in here. I don't know how many, but it's a lot. So I don't know if I have enough for all of my plants, but I have enough for however many I have. Okay, so let me go ahead and write down the names of these plants and get organized.
JJ results in the given name of JJ and no middle initials A.L. Jones, JJ. Result in the given name of J and the middle initial of J.
Hey salty peeps. Okay, so it's been a few days since I last popped on camera. It is actually Sunday today, and the last bit of planting care that I need to do for this week is round up all of my water propagations. Okay, I'm going to round up all of my water propagations and clean the water, change them. Some have debris, others are not as, you know, clean and clear as I would want it. So that is the last planting chore that I'm going to be doing for this week for houseplant chores. But today's Sunday, everybody is gonna get the rest of the watering that they need to, and all of the other water container propagations are gonna get cleaned through, and I'm gonna also try to pop off any yellow that might be on some and that might not be on others. So let's go ahead and do that. But first, the most important thing, coffee. Now I can get the day started. serious? Look at this. Seriously. Alright, so this is pretty much what it looks like right now on this counter. If you watch my Friday live streams, then you know the ingredients that I use for our cocktail, but these are all of the water growing plants that I have in my collection. So now your girl is gonna dump all this out and give everybody fresh water, and then add some nutrients to the water, because just because it's growing in water doesn't mean your plants are getting enough nutrients. And I noticed with one of my monsteras actually that because of the lack of nutrients, maybe some sort of deficiency, the new growth and the old leaves were yellowing and not doing what they should. So change of season, changing water, making everybody happy. So time to go ahead and clean out the plethora of houseplants, but it won't be that hard. I'm just gonna honestly just do it one by one. Okay, one by one does not take a long time. I'm gonna start with my bamboo. Beautiful. Just gonna pour out the water. This plant in particular definitely needs a larger container. My coworker at my old job got me this for my birthday a few years back, and the roots are rooting to the top. So yeah, definitely need to give this one an upgrade. This was also a plant that I had at my old job, but again, I decided to bring it home. It wasn't doing too well, and I also felt like people were picking at it too. So to conserve whatever I had left, I brought it home. I'm gonna give everyone like leaves a rinse also. Remove whatever dust, cat hair, you know, has been building up the last couple of months. Shake. Check to see if there's any decayed roots that can just be popped off gently. The brown just separates so easily from the green, fleshy. Much better. I might consolidate some also into different containers. Much better. It's only this little new growth point that's viable. Everything else is dead, so I'm just gonna break it off. This leaf was yellowing anyways. Wait your turn. Patience, young one. Your time will come. But wait, there's more. But the roots look so good, so white, so fleshy, healthy. Just gonna pop this thing off. I've decided, you can't see me, I think I've decided that a lot of these plants do have to go in soil. I can't keep having so much water container plants. So the Cebu Blue can actually go back in soil because I almost lost the entire plant, but I had to water prop it, saved it in soil. It has to go, but for now, it's gonna go back inside of here. Almost done. Only a few more plants left. Just 4 more containers. For the most part, most of these don't have, you know, all that much decay. But keep in mind, this is like years worth for a few of these. This one is so bad looking. I don't know why the water is so dark. The final one. Did not disappoint. I almost forgot about Amanda. Woo! This is years. This is over like 5-6 years worth of muck. Much better. So this is the final plant. Ta-da! We're all done. Let me show you the aftermath in the sink. This is all of the muck, gunk and grime. This is a lot, actually. So, salty peeps, this is basically what it looks like on this counter. I'm going to let everybody dry. I'm gonna put everyone back in their home, and I will see you all in the next video. Thank you so much for spending a week with me in Houseplant care. If you haven't already, please make sure to follow me on my other social media platforms at Houseplant, HauzPlant. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, become a salty pecan, because we're pretty awesome here, okay? And if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up as well, and share, because sharing puts more eyes on my content. And I will see you on the next one. Let's get growing. Mwah. Bye.